Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all over the world, my name is Brandon. I'm with the Rags Riches community. In fact, I am the CEO, the CFO, the CEO, and the Supreme Ayatollah Terrafin. You are third place today. Brizology, number one. That's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you this week. You're slipping, bro. You're slipping. Irwin in the house. Is this a ragathon? Some guy named Rags Riches says there's a mom joke somewhere in there. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Jen Hex, Craig Wadding in the house, Mudhog, Crypto Heartbeat. How are we feeling today, folks? We called it, guys. We called it yesterday. We said that FOMO's about to set in. I mean, look at this. Look what we got going on right now. This is some serious stuff, folks. We got a nice little pump, a nice little healthy pump going on right now. Maybe we could zoom in here a little bit, just check it out. Look at that. Look at that little guy. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Just growing up all on its own. Guys, feels good. Heading into May. We've got some great news. I'm pretty excited. How about you? +1 in the chat if you're excited. +1, +1, +1. Pretty stoked. We got a good little lineup today. We're going to do a couple things we've never done before. We're just going to we're going to chop it up. We're going to have a good time. I'm pretty excited. Pretty daggone excited. Let's check chat here. John May in the house. What is up, John May? Magnus, let's go. Taco. A Rags 2 times. You see, here's what y'all did. This morning, I'm doing the walk in the park, doing my morning thing, where I get live and everything. And some psycho made me do burpees this morning. And I've been the butt of everybody's joke today. Unsatisfactory. Gosh, no respect. I get no respect out of this community. None whatsoever. Immutable. Lots of rags today. Got my quesadilla ready to enjoy the show. Hey, man, Buffo, eat that quesadilla, man. MJ Money. Yep. All my boys here in the house. Ninja Chopsticks. Chad. What's up, Chad? ¿Qué tal, Munoz? What's up, Munoz? Hot Rollins. Too much Raz content. Gonna have to sub just to unsub. Red Squirrel. Here we go, folks. All right. So just like you always know, you know this all the time. Like I don't want to waste too much of your time. I like wasting your time, but not too much. We're gonna go over some of the happenings right now, okay, in the world, because the thumbnail, after all, does say news today. So we're gonna go over some news here. Democrats want to pass stimulus before midterm elections. Now, let's think about that. Why do Democrats want to pass a stimulus bill right before midterm elections? Maybe they won't. No, I'm not going to say it. I'll let you guys make your own judgments on that. Joe Manchin, who's a Democrat, he actually wants an anti-inflation bill, and he doesn't want any more government spending. So they control the House. They control the Senate, and they can't push this through because old Joe Manchin. So how does Joe Manchin want to go about this? What does Joe Manchin want to do? He wants an anti-inflation bill instead of a stimulus package because he wants to fight inflation. He wants to hike the corporate tax rate from 21 to 25%. He wants to increase capital gains from 23.8 to 28%. Now, to be fair, that's anybody $500,000 and above. And he wants to eliminate tax loopholes so everyone can pay their fair share. I don't know. Whenever I hear that, pay your fair share, it kind of tweaks me out, man. It just kind of tweaks me out. Chat, what do you think about that? Let's see what chat says here. Kind of weird. Did you eat my leftovers? Pulsor says. Yep, I'm here for the worst information on YouTube. Absolutely. +1s in chat. We got some +1s. We're hyped up. Crypto Stylist in the house. JS, Robert Kennedy, Heinz Crypto. Oh, my Lanta. Did you just channel your Mr. Heartbeat? Don't ever say that to me again. It's blasphemous. Oh, gosh. It's disgusting. He cares. I don't care about you guys. It's just crazy. Heckin' commies, chat says. Oh, my gosh. All right, here we go. So let's check it out. So capital gains 23 to 28%. He says it will lower national debt and it will reduce inflation. Of course, Republicans, they don't want any type of tax hikes on anybody, right? So it's a pretty big problem right now in the House and the Senate. And they're going to have to do something because the Democrats are expected to get crushed in midterms. Everybody's expecting this. Absolutely destroyed. They're expected to probably lose the House and probably lose the Senate. AOC, she gets on, she says, listen, why would we get elected if we can't deliver? So what are they trying to pull out of their hat now? What are they kind of talking about? Well, they're planning on trying to cancel $10,000 worth of student debt before November. At least get it in the books, at least going, right? Because they're trying to buy those votes before midterms. And they're really in tune with everybody. They know how to get those votes. They want to pass sweeping climate change reform. That'll really get us back in the White House. But I don't know about you guys, but I just think some of these guys are just completely out of touch with reality. Completely out of touch. And they think you're stupid. They think they can buy your votes. $10,000 will wipe it off the table, your student debt, just so we can get elected. It's not the 50 or 100,000 they promised. It's 10,000 just to get us back in. And maybe we'll finish the job later on the backs of the American taxpayer. Joe Manchin, I mean, you got to give him credit. He's sticking up. Now, it could be just like, who knows what it could be? Could be he's just stalling. All right. Speaking of Stalin, Russia cuts off supplies of natural gas to Poland and Bulgaria because Poland and Bulgaria, they won't pay Russia in Russian rubles. So 3 or 4 weeks back, we talked about the fact that the international community froze foreign reserves of Russian rubles. All right. So Russia is trying to stimulate their ruble right now. They're trying to. Now, this is what kind of interests me. If you guys saw in the headlines, you saw probably about 2 months ago, the Russian ruble absolutely tanked. It crashed. It went way, 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 way down. Do you guys have any idea right now what position the Russian ruble's in? Well, let's check. We will go to... I actually have it. Here it is. Look at this, folks. Look at this chart. Wow. So back in February, when they start, going on the invasion path, it absolutely tanked. What was this? This was a 50% fall, I think. 50% correction, 51%, 52%. It has corrected all the way back, all the way back. And now, the reason it's corrected all the way back, it's really 2 reasons. The first reason is Russia's decided to pair the ruble to the gold standard. It's going to be on the gold standard, and they're increasing their reserves in Bitcoin. You're telling me that a 50% fall is followed by a retracement of that much just because of those 2 things? I don't know, folks, but you're certainly not hearing this on news media right now, are you? You're not hearing this. You're not hearing the good news for their economy. This is not too bad right now. There's a lot of bad things happening, but I think it could be a lot worse. So some interesting things going on here. Very, very. Oh, that is not the ruble. What am I talking about? Hold on. Hold the phone. View tab. Up. That's mildly embarrassing, but we're going to work through this, folks. Let's see if this works. There we go. You see that, guys? You see that retracement? Fell off the face of the earth. Hex. Who's the hex chart? That's funny. The hex chart looks like the Russian ruble for some reason. There it is, guys. Very, very interesting. I find that very interesting. So we're going to move on here a little bit. So after announcing that the ruble would adopt the gold standard and increase reserves in Bitcoin, the ruble has recovered completely from its 50% drop this year. All right. Now, in other news, did you hear about our girl, old Kamala? Kamala Harris. She's got COVID-19, folks. It's sad, COVID-19. She got that vaccination, though. It's all good. She got 2 to 4 jabs here, the booster shots and everything, but she's got COVID-19. It's a very, very effective vaccination. Hope she gets better here. Hope she gets better. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know why you're here. I know why you're here because you want to learn about hacks. You want to learn about cryptocurrency. You want to dive right in, folks. Let's check chat. Let's get some questions out here. What do you guys want to know? All right. Pete Camp says Republicans have raised the national debt and Democrats have raised the national debt. So this is a pretty pointless argument. They're both horrible. I do not disagree. They are inflating and destroying the American dollar at rates never before seen, and they don't care about it. And it's funny, they're negotiating on the backs of the American taxpayer. We're the one that's feeling the pain. They're going to be happy with their $180,000 a year in security details and basic allowance for housing and all sorts of crazy stuff. All right. It's like putting a bandage on a flood, correct? Good. I hope he doesn't give them any gas. Interesting. We are still looking at the hex chart. We were looking at the hex chart. You are right. Hold up. Susie Q in the house. Your dad just corrected you, Rex. It's not my dad. It's my older brother. I just outweigh him by 100 pounds. That's the difference. I know. Dude, see, I didn't use that clickbait, man. I didn't use that clickbait this time. The other 170 people, they're not around. It's tempting, man. That's a power that you have to be. It's like Lord of the Rings, dude. It's like the ring. You got to wield it responsibly. All right. Will USDC be liquid before the bridge? I don't really know what you mean by that. Like you're asking a question, but yeah, of course it'll be liquid, but what do you really mean? Rephrase that question for me. Will Pulsechain be ISO 20022 compliant? I don't know. You had no chance. The Republicans aren't the answer to all your problems, but the Democrats sure are the cause of them. Dude, there's some truth there. There's a lot of truth there. When we onboard new users, what would be the best way to direct them to purchasing Pulse after Pulsechain launches? These are really, really good questions. And folks, I'm gonna let you know right now. Be careful with your ears. We're about to play an intro, and without further ado, the reason you're here, you want to talk about 3 strategies. All right, 3 strategies after Pulsechain launch. So here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Briz!
How's it going, everybody?
Dude, I know you like that intro, man.
Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah,
that was really
I made
great.
that intro in 23 seconds, bro.
That was the first time I've seen that. That was actually really great. I liked it.
Good. All right, Briz. We're bringing Briz on, guys. Normally he's in the chat here, but Briz is doing work. Briz is going to bring you some value. I'm excited.
I'm gonna try.
You're excited now. Why are you on here today? What are you going to teach us? What are we going to talk about?
All right, we're gonna talk about box fans. All right,
box fans.
No. So Brandon asked me to come onto the show and to discuss 3 strategies for the Pulsechain launch.
Yeah.
So
that's why we're here.
I've thought of a couple different strategies that maybe we could try and just go over some bullet points and see what we think. All right.
Yeah. Let's check it out. What do you think about this before you get started? And we'll kind of talk back and forth about this. When onboarding new users, what will be the best way to direct them to purchasing Pulse after Pulsechain launches?
So I think probably one of the best ways, and I really have to I haven't done it yet, but what I've heard is if you buy, I think, Ethereum from Coinbase and you send it to the Atomic wallet, you can then swap it directly ETH for Hex inside the wallet. And that seems to be the least amount of steps from fiat to Hex.
Cool. Otherwise, we'll have to go the different route, which is what?
Just going from Coinbase to MetaMask, then to ethhex.com, and then converting the Ethereum to Hex via ethhex.com.
Yeah, and the bottom line is, folks, it's going to be difficult at first until we get some wallets, etc., on ramps. But you got to understand that that's not an excuse. It being difficult is not an excuse of losing out on massive amounts of money. So very, very important to if somebody's interested in making that money, they're going to figure it out. You agree with that, Briz?
Yeah, it's when everything becomes super easy and accessible, there's not that many gains left over or to
Exactly.
be had. Right now, the most uh, liquid crypto out there is Bitcoin,
Yeah.
and you can get that pretty much anywhere. And the gains are there, but the gains are baby gains, and we're here for massive gains.
Absolutely. All right. So strategy one, if you just showed up, I tasked Briz here with delivering on some strategies for Pulse Chain launch. So strategy one, what do you have here for us,
So
Briz?
strategy one, this is and before I start, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I am not your dad, and I'm not your boss. So don't sue me, bro. So strategy one, this is actually probably the strategy I plan on going with, and this is the dollar cost average in. And basically, I plan on doing it for the first 60 days. I'm going to take a set amount of money, and I'm just going to dollar cost average every single day for the first 60 days. Um, because you can see off to the right over here, I have a chart, and this is when Hex first launched in December. And you can see that little red dot up there on top, and then it did a massive dip down. Uh, Back in the day, there was like a lot of arbitrage, and it just kept dipping for roughly like 2 months.
Yeah.
It started going up around the end of February, but you can see the best time to get in was about 30 days after launch on January 6th. Excuse me. And according,
That seems to be a general rule. Like when you see these launches, it's about a 60 to 90-day correction I've noticed on many different charts.
you got to think about it like this. Uh, I think on the Pulse X sacrifice, the top 100 sacrificers all put in a minimum of $1 million. They all put in the minimum of $1 million. If we see a 100x right out of the box, all those people just all of a sudden have $100 million on paper.
Yeah.
And guess what, man? You got to expect some of them are probably going to take a little bit of gains. Um, but that's what happens when you invest that much money and you get that much money back very quickly. You just see these dips right after the launch, but then very quickly you see they get eaten up, and then the price runs off without them if they never got back in.
I love that, man. And here's the other thing, like we're talking about 2 months deep into Pulse Chain. And this is a layer one that's going to be around for probably decades and decades and decades, guys.
It's supposed to outlast you.
Yes, it hopefully does.
Yeah,
And with that said, the dollar cost average strategy, if you've got a full-time job and you're just trying to make it, you're trying to retire, you can dollar cost average for a long time. But certainly it's very important within the first 60 to 90 days because that's when you find the real bottom. Is that right?
exactly.
Yeah.
It's and I took a little screenshot. You can see according to this is nomics, that January 6th was 0.000028.
Whew.
I mean, 4 zeros and a two. If you would have put in, I think like $1,000 worth at that particular moment, if on that particular day, if you were able to catch that amount, you put in say $1,000, I think you would have got something like 35 million hex if it was available.
That's some serious stuff there.
35 million hex.
Yeah.
And you know that hex is going to go to $1 eventually. So, I mean, just think about it. And even if you couldn't put in $1,000, What if you put in like $100?
Yeah.
Just, catching each one.
Love it.
So that's something to think about. All right. So that's strategy number one, the dollar
Outstanding.
cost
All right.
average.
All right. So day one FOMO tards didn't get the 10,000X. It was the people who bought the dips. Very, very important here. All right. What do you got next for us, Briz? Strategy 2.
Strategy 2, and this is the riskiest, in my opinion.
Okay.
And this is a gamble. And this is basically move all of your Ethereum coins over to the Pulsechain. This is a strategy. We're asking ourselves, why stay on Ethereum? Ethereum is just kind of like, it's ruining our hexagon experience.
Yeah.
The fees are too high. Why should we support a blockchain that hates our community and hates our founder? They're openly aggressive towards Hex. They turned up that S load and raised our fees, and everybody is saying that with Ethereum 2.0 the fees aren't going to get lower. That's what they're saying. It feels like they should because it can support more capacity, but I don't know that much. People are saying that the fees aren't going to go down. Another reason is, why should we support their miners? Our protection racket mafia is better than their protection racket mafia. When we do our transactions, at least a portion of our fees go back to our people, our stakers. Right? And again, the future of free speech and low transaction fees is going to be on the Pulsechain. And the reason why I say free speech is because money is free speech, right? Money is
absolutely
right. And in my opinion, these high transaction fees are a limiter on free speech.
Ooh, I like that. You're right.
Because I got friends who only have $150. They want to get in here, and if it costs them $80 to onboard, they're not going to onboard.
It's a major issue. Yeah,
it is an issue.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But with this said, this is the riskiest strategy. I want to support the Pulsechain, and I do plan on shifting a bit of my economic weight onto the Pulsechain, but I'm probably not going to do everything just because I don't want to gamble and try and choose a winner. I'm gonna have them on both. But so the last bullet point is, be aware that the T-share rates could be more lucrative on the Ethereum chain if enough people move over to the Pulsechain. So that's, if you move over to the Pulsechain, your Ethereum side may have performed a little bit better.
See, I like that, and I'll say this too. I think that some people might be sleeping on, for example, Hex on the Ethereum side after the fork, because you got to think that there's going to be so many people that are going to be trying to push all of their economic energy over, probably 100%. But it's interesting that you said that you're not going to be pushing 100%, because there might be opportunities to stay where you are a little bit too.
Well, that, and I'm also locked in for 15 years, so I'm going to be here on the Ethereum side for a long time.
Yeah,
and and I also threw a couple Hex at that Maxi token, at Maximus smart contract.
Yep.
So I'm going to be on the Ethereum side for the next 15 years, no doubt. I don't want to see the Ethereum side of Hex go down. But everyone's excited about the Pulsechain side. And when I get new investors onboarded, I'm going to be showing them the Pulsechain side, not the
Yeah.
Ethereum side. I
Right.
mean, unless there's like unless the fees have gone down and everything's fixed and it's running again with like $1 transaction fees, which doesn't seem to be a reality. I'm taking all my onboards to the Pulsechain side.
Gotcha.
All
Well,
right.
I,
And
I will
again, sorry,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
Lightning. It's true.
There it is. That looks like mud, dude.
Yeah, this is mud water. It's actually coffee.
All right.
So I just don't recommend this strategy unless you're completely new, just because this is a gamble. You don't know which side is actually going to uh, outperform the other. You know, you can take
Absolutely.
a guess. You can take a
Yeah.
guess, but when everyone kind of thinks the same exact way in crypto, it usually goes the other way.
Yeah. All
Just
right.
saying. Just saying.
So Briz, like, I just want to point this out, folks. Give Briz a little hand here. His first time doing something like this.
Thank
And
you.
if I could grade him like A through F, it's probably like a D plus, but he's trying his damnedest, guys. So give him a -1 in chat. Just let him feel very, very welcome.
I barely graduated also. So
All right.
this is
Now
struggle.
isn't that weird how that works, dude? Why are people listening to us?
All right. I mean, go get a job, everybody.
All
All right.
right. What do you got
Strategy.
next, man?
Strategy number 3. Now, I just want to say I found some pictures of Brandon and I put them on here. I hope you don't mind me sharing them with everybody. But this is a valid strategy, and these pictures I thought were good. So,
Dude, Rags the richest monster ultra.
yeah, this is
That's pretty much me.
strategy number 3 is really just do nothing. You know, if you've sacrificed, you know, you're getting your Ethereum hex. You have your Ethereum hex. You're getting your copy on the Pulsechain. All you have to do is just sit back and chill. You know, you have both your bags. Don't try and gamble and think you can guess which one is going to do better. Just doing nothing is a valid strategy. Now, if you haven't bought, if you don't have any hex or you haven't sacrificed, you want to at least get it and then do nothing. Because the people who made the most are founders and holders who never sold. And that's the truth. You know, look at those people who got into Hex on the first month and they staked it out for 2 years now. They're sitting very pretty, and they're very happy that they did that. I got the just go live your life, check back in 6 months to a year, see how your Hex and Pulsechain is doing, and life is about relationships. Don't stare at charts all day. Go outside, have some fun.
Stare at the sun instead.
Stare at the sun. There's a thing called sun gazing.
Is that a thing? Too bad you can only do it for like 6 months and then it's done. Your eyes are.
That's my 3 basic strategies. But to wrap it up, I really think Pulsechain will be the premier passive income generator blockchain. I think this is going to be what sets us free, And the way that you can make passive income is just stake your Hex and earn passive income at 12% plus a year. The longer you do it, the more it pays. We've seen up to like 40% APY. Another way is to stake your PulseX on the PulseX exchange and earn via single-sided staking. And you can earn, third-party coins by locking up your PulseX. I think I had an idea, and I if the OA is listening, or maybe the African priest is listening, whoever controls the OA. I think what would be really cool is if they converted a bunch of the OA into the Maxi coin and then provided that on the PulseX single-sided staking. I think that might be kind of cool.
That is kind of interesting.
Right.
But unfortunately, whoever controls the OA, I assure you, doesn't watch this show. This is the wrong place to do that.
Yeah, they have wrinkly brains and they don't listen to the smooth brains like us. And then you can also delegate your Pulsechain to your favorite validator node and earn transaction fees. But fortunately, the fees will be low, and unfortunately, you probably won't earn that much via delegation, and just to tie it up, I really think Pulsechain will set more people free in the next 100 years than any other economic mechanism in history.
Dang, dude.
Nobel Prize worthy.
Snap that.
All
right.
Pulsechain will be the beginning of a new renaissance.
Wow.
Right? Accumulate.
You're saying that Pulsechain will beat Pokemon cards.
I choose Richard Hart.
All right, I was gonna tread softly, but that makes sense.
But
no,
I mean, there's so many people that have already become millionaires in Hex, and I mean, you just watch enough live streams, you know how many people have retired from Hex.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's pretty awesome, and I'm telling you, that is going to be nothing compared to what Pulsechain is going to do for us.
Yeah. So what I like to tell people when they say, like this morning, I went live as I was walking in the park, and I'm talking to my people, and I was telling them about this guy who hit me up. He's got a project on Binance Smart Chain. He's the CEO of this project. He says, Brandon, what do you think about Pulsechain? How we haven't talked in about 6 months. What's changed? And I said, the only thing that's changed is my confidence that this is going to absolutely tear.
Yeah.
And I like to follow that up with some type of facts. So when you look at Ethereum, I think Ethereum, if I remember correctly, it launched with, I think, 13,000 wallets. 13,000 wallets. And it was basically flat for an entire year. Got to also travel back in time and think, we've come a very, very far way in terms of our infrastructure in the crypto community at large. So Pulsechain is starting out with a much better infrastructure that will allow money to flow with much less resistance, in my opinion, too. So not only do we have probably 10 to 20 fold the amount of people at the beginning, we're also going to have a much easier time getting economic energy onto the chain. And then the third part, which is truly Nobel Prize winning, is the fact that we're going to be airdropping these things to these wallets.
Yep.
So with that, when these influencers, when they're in the doldrums of a bear market and they're looking and begging for something to talk about to their people, and they find out about Pulsechain and they open up their MetaMask or they open up the wallet that they have the keys to and they change the settings and they see that they have a whole lot of money on the Pulsechain side, the light bulb's going to go off and they're going to look like absolute gods to all of their followers when they make a video about it.
Yep.
So it benefits pretty much, it benefits the end user, it benefits the influencers, and the benefit too is if we launched in a bull market, I think there would be too much noise. There's going to be too many projects popping off every day.
Yeah.
And when I used to trade, you'd see that.
Your project did 30%, mine did 42%.
Correct. Too much noise. But here's the cool thing. If the market's flat and Pulsechain launches, people are going to be flocking to get a piece of it when they see it absolutely tearing.
Yeah.
So I don't see, unless there's some type of malicious activity, I don't see Pulsechain. I don't see it not just going absolutely nuts, man.
No, I agree. And when Ethereum launched, it didn't have any smart contracts producing yield. It didn't have the decentralized exchanges. Um, and it didn't even have proof of stake. It was nowhere. And so just having all these components ready and waiting right at launch, it's like, hey, come over here and make money. Here's the money printers.
Absolutely. And here's another point that I want to make too. The term sacrifice, in some people's eyes, it's kind of like it's a touchy subject. It's like quit biting Richard Hart style. It's a money grab, it's a money steal. I'll tell you this: for the projects who have adopted that, and for the projects in the future that continue to, it is a really good way to have capital to build out a business.
Yeah.
So for every 10 projects that have a sacrifice phase, 8 of them will probably be trustworthy folks. Now they might mismanage it, but about 8, let's say, if you can have a well-funded startup that can raise $10 million to $50 million, like that doesn't really happen in the real world in 30 days like it does in crypto. And I think that the fact that we are so well funded in this community is really going to help all these other projects grow and blossom, create tools, and really make the user experience for Pulsechain that's vertically integrated very, very good for everybody. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've come to the conclusion that I trust a project a little bit more if it has a sacrifice via ones that don't.
Why is that?
Maxi is different because it's backed 1-to-1, so it just works. But the reason why I prefer projects with sacrifices is because, quite frankly, it's just a jar of marbles, and eventually the whole goal is to pull out more marbles than you put in. And if people pull out the marbles, the people coming in, basically you need someone to put the marbles back in.
Yeah.
And that's what I
happening.
feel. That's what the sacrifice money is truly meant to be. It's a war chest to protect against the dumpers, to hold up the price so the chain doesn't just, or the coin or the project doesn't have a cascading downfall into oblivion, because everyone's afraid, hey, if I don't get my profits, someone else is going to take it. So I kind of actually like the sacrifice model because it allows the chain to kind of not spiral downwards like other coins.
Yeah, and I like the fact that it's like our community. If our community was a university, the crypto university, we'd be like MIT, and then everybody else would be what I call UCLA, which is the University of Colonial Avenue here, local in my town. It's a community college. So I think that's what everybody else is. We have money in the hands of people who understand crypto better than anybody else in the world, and I really, really, really like that. We are just setting the stage to be extremely successful, top to bottom, with people who care about each other. And I think our community cares about each other. I wrote the sappiest tweet the other day, and
What
I
was it?
went to bed regretting it, and I woke up regretting it. But essentially, it was like, hey, this community that we have is like a once in a lifetime community. And
Yeah.
and I said, I'm not mincing my words here. It's worth protecting and it's worth growing. And
You know,
and it's true, man.
we're in a very special spot. Like, everything had to happen in a very particular way and order for us to have Richard create this new blockchain at this particular time, at this particular moment. Like, if all this stuff hadn't happened before us, we wouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's we're standing on the shoulders of giants, and we have to take advantage of this. And this is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
It is, and we're here. The people in chat are here. We're listening to you, Briz. Very well done, man. I there's no way I did half as good as you my first time, so I just want to give credit where credit's due.
Thank you.
And
I hope you guys enjoyed my little presentation. That's 3 different strategies. Again, my favorite one is dollar cost average, minimum the first 2 months.
Minimum first 2 months. Now, Briz, before I kick you off of my stream, you've got what are some places where people can go to contact you, man, talk to you about what you've been talking about?
You know what? Just come to the YouTube streams. I'm in the chat, all right?
Every chat.
I'm in every chat.
I love it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, +1 for Briz. Briz, thanks so much. I'm going to kick you off now. Your outro is actually the same as your intro, so you get to see it again. Ladies and gentlemen, Brizology. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Brizology. Putting in the work, man. I see him back there in the green room. He's just smiling from ear to ear. He's just the cutest thing I've ever seen. Oh my gosh, Briz. he quit. He's like, I'm out. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about 45 minutes in. This is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Just want to let everybody know that it's so important for you to at least reach out to the people that you know and the people that you love, to get them involved in this opportunity. Now, here's the truth about it. Not everybody is going to do it, and you can't force people. But if you don't ask, you're going to miss 100% of the free throws, or 3-pointers that you don't shoot. So you got to start shooting those damn things, folks. You got to start doing it. Tomorrow and pretty much every day, I do a morning stream, so you can catch me there, and then I do an afternoon stream as well. As always, please do not please do not subscribe, and for God's sakes, please do not comment. My name is Brandon. I'm with the Rags community, Rags Riches community, and I'm out of here.